Hello everyone, welcome back. Another episode of Bitcoin in Real Life. Uh, had to make another one. Had to make a video because as I was sleeping out here in Houston, I got a text early in the morning, about 6 in the morning in Houston, so it would have been about 5 o'clock in New York. Supposedly someone from New York texted me saying, "Hey, um, gosh, what was the text? Um, let me see if I can find it real quick. It's on my smartphone. I'm not going to show you, but let's see what it says. It says here, Bitcoin creator revealed, and it's not you. Well, the reason why it's that is I had some anonymous person from New York who wanted to uh, buy bitcoins from me, and also would like to be my partner in New York and all this other nonsense. But when it came time to meet in New York, the person mysteriously never was able to show up. And then after the appointed time of meeting, the day after, contacts me and says, "Hey, I'm sorry, I fell asleep at my sister's house." I don't know. It's kind of weird. Although this has been planned for days in advance, and so eager to meet when it came time to meet, was unable to, of course, meet. Anyways, the story is basically this anonymous person who texted me from out of the blue um, wanted to know my name. So I gave this person a pseudonym of Satoshi Nakamoto, and that's why I guess he wanted to contact me. But anyways, so I get this text early in the morning from an unknown entity supposedly from New York, specifically Manhattan. Uh, and the text reads, "Bitcoin creator revealed, and it's not you." And the reason why he said that is because I told you the whole story. And my reply was, lots of laugh. I know it's not me. Question is, will anybody believe you? When I said that, I said, will anybody believe this guy is Satoshi Nakamoto? And so after that, it's kind of weird. He seems to have more information than and I say he because this person first contacted me with a voicemail, so it's some guy, obviously from New York, from the way he talks. Anyways, apparently this guy knows a lot more, or he claims to know a lot more. He says, well, the police have him in custody. I haven't read any reports or seen any reports of this yet, but, and I think so, front page news. And then I was like, okay. It's amazing how this guy knows all this before. Again, he's probably in New York, supposedly in New York. Anyway, that probably will never. Me meeting this person will probably never happen, just because there's some people like that. So, anyways, I am going through all this stuff. Hold on. I got a Bitcoin trade here that I got to do. So let me cut out and cut back in. All right, sorry about that. I'm cutting back in. When I get a trade, I get a trade. I get a trade. Anyways, obviously the people who are trading with me really don't care. You think that things would change for everyone. As far as I know, it hasn't changed my stance on Bitcoin and how it's used whatsoever. Anyways, let's go back to this video. So some of the things that I was talking about was, where was I? Oh yes, the text I get from this unknown person from New York. I have a weird suspicion that these people that have been, just random people that have been anonymously contacting me for Bitcoin are, in fact, I think law enforcement, because they never seem to manifest themselves in reality. They never seem to ever do a Bitcoin trade. That's another, give away that these people might be law enforcement, or they're not really serious about Bitcoin at all, or doing any kind of anything with you, any transaction or any partnership. So anyways, the person in this text texted me, well, the police have him in custody. I don't know how he knows that, because I have not received any news feeds saying so, that he's in police custody. But anyways, I don't know what front page news he's talking about, but you know, something like this, if it's not on the internet that he's in police custody, then it's I don't know, maybe it's being withheld. Anyways, let's go back to this video, and let's see how it works out, because there's a few things I want to go over this short BBC video, and let's just continue. Oh, great. Okay, let's just continue on with this.
First transaction ever done on Bitcoin.
And who does the world think did that first transaction? What's the name associated with that first transaction?
The monk here is Satoshi Nakamoto.
So you're going to show me that Satoshi Nakamoto is you.
Alright, so this is where you get a lot of information here. If you all know about reading faces, or reading eye movements, or reading body language, or reading gestures, a lot of this stuff I learned at first, you know, playing poker. I love playing poker. I'm in Houston, so I learned to play poker in Texas for the first time. Anyways, in my pursuit to be a better poker player, I try to learn how to read faces, read body language, emotions, and stuff like that. I came across a book, I guess you could say, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, NLP, very popular out there in the UK. There was a TV show called Lie to Me, kind of about that. There's also people who actually do read faces. I study that as well a little bit. I'm not an expert, but I'll just do my take on it. But let's take a look here, because there is, so he's being asked, so he's going to be asked. All right.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
So you're going to show me that Satoshi Nakamoto is you.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it there. I'm going to pause. I don't have slow-mo on this, but I'm going to pause and stop, and I'm going to try to make some reads on Mr. Craig, or Craig Stephen Wright's, or is it Stephen Craig Wright's face? Or is it Craig Stephen Wright? I don't know, Mr. Wright's face here, and I'm going to try to see if I can get any good reads. Okay, so did you see that? Did y'all miss that? That was quick, wasn't it? Reading faces, that includes eye movement. You gotta pick up on it real quick, because it probably happened really fast that you didn't even see it. Let's go over it one more time. And actually, let me see if I can blow this up to the full screen. Okay, there you go, full screen. And I'm gonna start back at 21, 22. There we go. Alright, so let's have a look at his face real quick, and let's see what reaction we get.
So you're going to show me that Satoshi Nakamoto is you.
Alright, did you see that? Alright. You didn't see that? Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
Yes.
Alright, did y'all see that? Did you pick up on that? You probably didn't see it. It was very quick. Let's see if I can get to it again. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what happens while it's happening. I'm gonna give you my take on my facial reads on Mr. Wright, and we'll see what happens. So this is blown up. I'm concentrating just on his face. Let's have a look.
So you're going to show me that Satoshi Nakamoto is you.
Did y'all see that? You missed it? Okay, I'm gonna try to squeak in just a little bit better on the time frame on that.
Me that Satoshi Nakamoto is you.
Alright, did you see that? You probably saw it a little bit better in that slow-mo. You see his eyes? It moved from looking at him, to shifting to the right. So if you're in his position, you moved your eyes to the right. And if you know anything about neuro-linguistic programming, it's not really about reading faces and everything. It's really learning about how you process information. And how do you process that? Of course, the way we communicate, nonverbal and verbal, touch and other senses. So right now he's in a verbal communication, and as this gentleman is asking him the question, he's processing that information and it's showing up in his body movements. And how it shows up is kind of interesting because you see that he looked to the left. He didn't look to the left. His eyes moved to the right. And from what I understand, when you do that, you are you're making a reflection into the future. Because if you know anything about how your mind works, and depending what handed you are, left hand, right hand, I'm going to make the assumption that Mr. Craig Wright is right-handed. Because I've seen the whole video, so I'm going to make the assumption, I don't know if he is right-handed, but my assumption is that he is right-handed, because he makes a lot of eye movements in the rest of the video that tells me he's right-handed. So anyways, he moves his eyes to the right. I want to see if you all saw that, so I'm going to start it over again, and let's have a look.
I mean, that Satoshi Nakamoto is you.
Did you see that? Okay, so he moved his eye to the right, so he's processing information pertaining to the future, or what he's thinking about the future, how his answer is gonna come out. So something like that. And then he closes his eyes, right? He closes his eyes, and so his right eye, he's processing information regarding something in the future. He's thinking about what he's going to say or what he wants to say. So obviously that has nothing to do with the past, right? When someone says, "Are you Satoshi Nakamoto?" he's thinking about what he's going to say. He's processing information, something to do with the future. He closes his eyes because he's made his decision somewhat, and then he's giving his answer.
Yes.
All right, so he says yes. He nods his head yes, of course. But after that, this is why I stopped at this particular frame. He closes his eyes, right? He closes his eyes, and if you look at his gesture in his mouth, so let's go to this part right here where he's making that gesture, and the question is, so you're going to show me that Satoshi Nakamoto is you, right? And so let's get a clear picture here.
Yes.
All right, so he closes his eyes. He closes his eyes. He gave him the answer. Closes his eyes again, facing him again. I think there's something going on here. I think there's something that he's holding back, or something he's not completely telling the truth about. All right, and then his mouth movement. There's certain things that you learn about the mouth movement that tells me that little right about here, he kind of smiles a little bit. I think there's some holding back. He's holding something back. He's not telling the complete truth, and he can't face his accuser. Okay, now he knows he's on camera. He knows it's going to be shown to the world. And although this gentleman is just a person asking the question, interviewer, you could view him as the accuser because he's asking him, "Are you Satoshi Nakamoto?" And he has to answer, and he can't face him after he answers that. All right, and his little smile here, almost a smile. I think there's something going on. There's some deception, or there's something that he's not saying, in my opinion. So let's have a look at this whole thing again, and then, I mean, this is just me, okay? It doesn't. I'm not an expert in facial reading, but let's look at the two of them, how they interact, and you can see the captions here, so you could kind of see.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
So you're going to show me that Satoshi Nakamoto is you.
Okay, so I want to show you that whole thing because at the end, okay, right here, it's a long time. Let me see if I can get that right. God, I'm gonna have fun with this episode. This is a fun episode for me because I woke up in the morning. I was texted by somebody, which I believe is I believe is a law enforcement agent, specifically the FBI. This person contacted me almost a year ago when I was in New York, or when I was on my way to New York. Never met me yet in New York, and this guy is from Manhattan, supposedly, because I asked him, where are you located? Anyways, this whole day is just, oh man, you can't make this stuff up. But let's watch this video again. All right, let's watch.
Yes.
All right, and then after saying yes, he turns and he just cannot face him. He can't face him. There's something. The truth is there's more truth here, not being revealed, in my opinion. This is just my opinion, okay? All right.
Some people will believe, some people won't. And to tell you the truth, I don't really care.
All right, so now again, when I look at this, I'm also looking, when I watch the rest of the video, I'm looking for a baseline. All right, a baseline meaning how a person reacts to certain questions, and you got to get the genuine from the fake, because people can sometimes fake their facial expressions. It's hard to, people always communicate, even without saying any words. You always communicate. Body language, facial expressions, etc., hand movements, body temperature, your skin gets flush red with blood, or you get pale of sickness. I mean, you will communicate even though you don't even say a word. So I'm just going to go over this because I'm looking for a baseline here. All right.
Yes.
All right, and there you go.
Some people will believe.
So he looks to the left before he makes this comment, and some people will believe. Some people won't. Some people will believe, some people won't. And to tell you the truth, I really don't care. So he looked to the right, and obviously he's making a statement about the future. That's why you look to the right, because your mind processes information where, in a timeline, forward is the future, behind you is the past. A different way of looking at it, to the right, if you're right-handed, is the future, the left being the past. And that's how people view timelines, either going through you, over, or you're flying over it, or depending on how you think about it, the future is to the right. Timeline on the right side is the future. Timeline on the left side is the past. So there is some baseline here where he looks to the right and makes a comment about the future.
Some people won't. And to tell you the truth, I don't really care.
And then he looks again to the right, a little bit down, right and down, kind of a little internal dialogue maybe. But he said he doesn't care. So he's obviously, this is about the future, right? So I know that when he's looking to the right, or his eyes move to the right, he's thinking about something in the future.
But you can say, hand on heart to me, I am Satoshi Nakamoto.
I was the main part of it. Other people helped me.
Okay, so there's another baseline. He's absolutely telling the truth. Okay, I believe he's absolutely telling the truth, or he believes he's absolutely telling the truth about this. There's something about this particular statement that tells me that he's very confident about what he's saying, and what he's saying is true, because he looks right back at him and with open eyes says that. So, man, I'm just having so much fun with this.
I was the main part of it. Other people helped me.
Why did
Okay, so
you feel that?
okay, so basically that's true. I believe him right there. Everything, his body language and everything exudes confidence in that statement, to the point where, yes, he was the main part of it, but other people helped him. I think there's some truth into that statement. And so let's continue.
That you had to come out, and why did you feel you had to keep secret for so long?
All right, so he's looking to the left. I don't know what he says now.
Would prefer to be secret now. I don't think I should have to be out there.
So again, he's thinking of the future. He, you know, he wants to, what was his words? Gosh, I'm having fun with this little tidbit.
I don't think I should have to be out there.
Okay, so what was his question? So he's thinking of the future again. He's thinking about his private life, right? So,
To be secret now. I don't think I should.
let me see, where was I? Sorry if it's going a little too long, but I'm just trying.
Why did you feel, though, that you had to come out, and why did you feel you had to keep secret for so long?
All right, so you could tell he's looking to the right again. He's thinking about something in the future, unless he's looking at something, which may be the case, but I kind of doubt it. Because he snaps right back, and he's obviously looking at the
Be secret now.
at the interviewer right there. Obviously, when he blinks his eyes, for me, when he blinks his eyes, he's processing some information. So
I don't think I should have to be out there. There's nothing owed to the world where.
see, he doesn't have to be out. He's referencing in the future, so he's looking to the left or right. Now he looks to the left. And what does he say about there, right about there at the left point in time?
To the world where I have to come out and.
So when he looks to the left, when he says, "When I have to come out," right? There's nothing owed to the world where I have to come out. And when he says I have to come out, he looks to his left, which is the past, where he literally, I guess, in the past, which was what was it? Oh my gosh, it was a couple months ago now, where he had to come out, right? He had to come out. So he's referring to the past. So that's why he's looking to the left. I don't know if y'all saw that. Should we? Let's just play that one more time.
A world where I have to come out and say, I am X, I am Y. I mean, no one needs to do that. It is my right. Not.
And you can see he's pretty angry right now. You can see the squint between the eyebrow. He's definitely, there's some anger there.
To say I did something. If I release a paper that actually benefits people, why do I have to actually take credit for it? Why do I?
Wouldn't you be proud to be known as Satoshi Nakamoto?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I have to bounce around in front of TV cameras.
You could say you've invented something amazing and that you want to say, I am the man who invented this.
I want to work. I want to keep doing what I'm doing, and that's what I'm going to do. And
see, he says, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. He wants to do this. He's looking to the right very often. Again, reference to the future. So you can see there's some baseline here to what I'm talking about. It makes sense. If you know anything about neuro-linguistic programming or any psychology or body reading, body language, you probably get a sense of this. At least that's my opinion. If you have your own, please leave a comment.
I don't work and invent and write papers and code by coming in front of TVs. I don't want money, I don't want fame, I don't want adoration. I just want to be left alone.
So everything he's saying right there is true. Okay, these are real. Obviously, there's nothing here he's hiding. He doesn't want money, he doesn't want fame. He wants to be left alone. The question is, why would you want to be left alone after coming out? Why would you, obviously this is not going to happen, but this is very true. The guy does not want money, does not want fame. He wants to be left alone. This is for sure true because that's the baseline. All right, that's the baseline that I could see. There's nothing that he's hiding or trying to hide or trying to deceive in any way.
I mean, one of the stories that came out was that you were under investigation by the Australian tax authorities. Was that true? And is that anything to do with it?
No, I have companies that are under audit. The reason for that is We have told the ATO everything. We have told them about the tax issues and implications. We actually put in everything with the auditors. We were using KPMG and a number of tax lawyers at the time.
So again, he's looking to the left as he's remembering things from the past, and it's kind of interesting.
We had internal audit, and we supplied that to the tax office so that we could try and pay the correct amount of tax.
So again, you see his eyes move to the right when he says where we can pay the correct amount of tax, as in the future. So the only reason I'm saying that is his movement to the left and the right, the eye movement. There is some baseline there indicating that whenever he looks to the left, he's looking in the future, which would be this way. When he looks this way, he's looking in the future. When he looks that way, he's referring. I'm sorry. This way is referring the past. This way, referring to the future. And you can see his eye movements on that. So.
And because no one understands Bitcoin very well, and no one understands the timing or anything like that, then it's still an ongoing matter. So we have lawyers negotiating how much tax I owe.
Because people assume that Satoshi Nakamoto must be...
All right, so I'm going to stop right here. This is another interesting point here, or interesting facial expression. Let me see here. Okay, so what does the guy say? He says, because people assume Satoshi Nakamoto must be fabulously rich. So he puts up a little smile right when he says, because people assume Satoshi Nakamoto. Right when he says Satoshi Nakamoto, I think is when he comes out, cracks a little smile. Now you got to watch it.
Satoshi Nakamoto must be...
All right, did you see that? Did y'all see that, or did I? Let's watch it again.
Satoshi Nakamoto must be...
You see that little smile? I did a kind of pause and stopped and pause and stopped, so you could see that smile cracking.
Satoshi Nakamoto must be fabulously rich.
All right, did y'all see that? He's smiling. He's smiling about something. Either he's happy to be Satoshi Nakamoto, or straight up he's lying or hiding something about being Satoshi Nakamoto. All right, you all want to see that again? Okay, let's see it again. Let's see it again. Now I'm just going to focus just on that part of the mouth right there. You'll see it.
Satoshi Nakamoto must be...
All right, so right when he says Satoshi Nakamoto, he cracks that smile. Before he even says, must be fabulously rich, that didn't even come into play before he cracked that smile. He cracked that smile when he says, because people assume Satoshi Nakamoto, boom, smile. Let's watch it again.
Satoshi Nakamoto must be...
Did y'all see that?
fabulously rich.
Okay, so there's something going on. Either he is very happy when he hears that word Satoshi Nakamoto, or there's some deceptiveness going on, or he's hiding something. Both times I see a little smile cracking, and for me there is some deception right there, or a play or a joke going on. I do believe he is involved in Bitcoin somehow, but at the same time I don't know if the full truth is coming out, because there's a lot of other things regarding the history of how Bitcoin came into creation. It seems like other people were involved, and is this person really the true creator? I'm sure he came up with an idea. I'm sure he came up with maybe the money, maybe even the computing power. Who knows? Or maybe not. But yes, this person, I think, was involved somehow in the creation of Bitcoin. But the question remains, is this person the person truly responsible for the creation of Bitcoin? I don't know. I think there's some more to it than this. I think there's something that he's holding back. It could be for whatever reason, but I think there's something that is not being told. All right, so let's just continue on.
The inventor of Bitcoin must have vast stores of Bitcoin and therefore be incredibly rich.
What matters isn't how much I have, it's when I use it. Because I've got an asset class that has gone up in value, doesn't mean I pay tax on it now. I pay tax when it's deployed, only on the bits that are deployed, no more.
And are you planning to deploy, as you put it, any of that Bitcoin?
I've deployed enough and I'm happy where I am. I'm not looking for money, and this is one comment I want to make to people. I don't want money. I don't want help. And I'm categorically going to say this, and I'm making sure that things are being put in place with lawyers and whatever else. If anyone puts me up for awards or anything like that, I will never, ever accept a cent. Ever. If you put me for a Nobel Prize, if you put me for an ACM Turing medal, if you put me up for some honour, I will never accept a cent from any of you for anything.
Now, I think that's true. I think that's very, very true. You can see that there's no hesitation on his part or anything. I believe that to be true. He doesn't want anything. So there's something to it. I do believe again that he's involved in some way, but I think there's more. There's more, and he's not divulging it at this point in time.
Why now? Why have you decided to identify yourself as Satoshi Nakamoto?
I didn't decide.
All right.
I had people decide this matter for me.
Okay, so I don't know if you know. Apparently, I guess he was hacked, and it was found out that he's Satoshi Nakamoto, and people were threatening him and all that stuff. I don't know if that's truly the story, but I think what he's saying here, I had people decide this for me. I think what he's saying there is true. Now, whether it's people that worked with him in this Bitcoin creation, they're trying to out him, or hackers or whatever. So I think that his statement about people deciding this matter for him, I think that is true. At least he believes that to be true anyway.
And they're making life difficult, not for me, but my friends, my family, my staff. I have staff here in London, I have staff overseas, and they want to be private. They don't want all of this to affect them.
Again, he's looking to the right, indicating something in the future. So he doesn't want all this to affect them.
I don't want any of them to be impacted by this. None of it's true. There are lots of stories out there that have been made up.
None of it's true. Lots of stories that have been out there have been made up. Okay.
And I don't like it hurting those people I care about. So I'm going to do this once, and once only. I'm going to come in front of a camera once, and I will never, ever be on a camera ever again for any TV station or any media, ever.
All right, I think that's true, what he said about never ever coming on to a TV station. He seemed pretty determined, but you never know. But again, let's go back to the first part, and then just watch the whole thing.
And I'm about to demonstrate a signing of a message with the public key that is associated with the first transaction ever done on Bitcoin.
And who does the world think did that first transaction? What's the name associated with that first transaction?
The monkeyer is Satoshi Nakamoto.
So you're going to show me that Satoshi Nakamoto is you?
Yes. Some people will believe, some people won't.
That Satoshi Nakamoto is you?
Yes.
All right, let's see that again.
Satoshi Nakamoto is you?
Yes.
All right, let's see it one more time.
Satoshi Nakamoto is you?
some people.
All right, well, there you go.
Especially now,
Oh,
that's,
sorry. Sorry about that. So, other than the face value of this video of what they're actually saying word for word, my experience is you don't take any words that come out of anybody's mouth as the truth, because oftentimes it's not. What you really got to look for is their body language, facial expressions, how they react to particular questions, and I have to tell you, unless you've been specifically trained, you always tell the truth, all right, through communication, and you always communicate. You never stop communicating, and you can really truly communicate what you're feeling and what you believe at that time when you communicate. So, you know, there's some truth to what he's saying, but at the same time, I think he's not telling everything. I think there's something more to what's going on here than what he's leading on, so, or what he's been saying. There's definitely more. Anyways, big breaking news? Maybe not. I mean, this came out first in April, that it was going to be coming out. Nothing happened in April, and then April, May, now it's May 1st, or May 2nd, I should say, and this is breaking, and I don't know, it'd be interesting to see what you all think. Well, that concludes this episode. Not really Bitcoin in real life kind of situation, but I think it newsworthy of making a video. Feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment or a video response. Until next time, stay tuned.